I'd like to pitch the idea of integrating Learning Labels system with interactive books and games. Let me introduce you to Learning Labels. Learning Labels is a patent-pending system to manage and track skills. Functionality includes a standardized display, framework to assign and represent standards, interface to move from expectations to assessments to badging, to user interfaces, and dynamic skills emblems or badges. The product differentiation is a clear, concise display to understand learning expectations. All the information needed to make an ROI decision to consume a resource and make a basis of comparison decision is there. The best analogy for the display is a nutritional label or resume, something that is universally accepted and understood. Good example of the conciseness is the label fits perfectly on a smartphone, no need to scroll up, down, left, or right. It's the best way to assign and show education training standards, system to track learning across education, higher education, and training stages. Produces skill points and next generation learning measurement, and algorithm calculates them each time a label is created. Applied learning is the future. Learning is moving to interactive books, games, simulations, and VR experiences. There'll be more sets of standards and standards referencing other standards, creating a cascading layering effect. This is what we are already starting to experience now. I added 4 sets of national education standards into the Learning Labels technology. 3 of the standards were introduced within the last 10 years. Finally, learners will have more options to choose and make decisions in what and how they learn. In a recent report by Pearson from people around the world, 81% think learning is becoming more self-service. So my proposal, first, get learning labels advertising the learning labels taking place in games and other digital media. Value proposition, provide basis of comparison for learners to choose among resources. 2, get learning labels in the games themselves. Value proposition, create awareness of the learning objectives. 3, provide access to assessments to verify achievements. Value proposition, verify learning is taking place, give credit for learning taking place outside of the classroom. 4, allow for learning achievements to be tracked in the system outside the confines of the game system. Value proposition, create a platform to track lifelong learning and skills. An example for 1 and 2 is the age consent label, which appears in packaging and online advertising and usually in the initial screens of the games. An example of 4 is a messaging application where listeners work across devices and platforms for interactivity with other applications. Also, an operating system might be another example. Scenarios. Game creators create learning labels for their games to express learning expectations, might also include assessments to measure outcomes and achievements and produce badges. The system already includes all this functionality. Scenario 1, I just want to get game and gamification creators and the writers of the books, interactive books, to build the learning labels. This provides a way to market and build awareness of the learning that's taking place in their resources. Scenario 2, produce static display on initial screen, optionally provide an assessment at completion. The functionality is already in place for these two scenarios, just a matter of linking to the interactive media. Scenario 3, a little more complex. Create interactions between learning label systems and the games. At specified segments, produce learning labels and or assessments. Functionality like a messaging or operating system, like I said before. The website is an online resource to learn more about this technology. Feel free to register and start creating your own learning labels and assessments. My team is looking for funding, development, support, and partners to move this forward. Please feel free to contact us at partners@skillslabel.com.